try this again. Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, I'm just as lonely and old as my partner here. Don't we look like lonely old ladies?
We do. I'm telling you. When the girl that told me that she had written a very nice review on her page, and the person that said it, who we know is one of the characters in the book, she said that how could she support an old a lonely old woman like that?
Why on earth would she care?
Because she has no life? I don't know.
I mean, if you're a lonely old lady, then you need all the support you can get.
You think?
Why? People like that are just so miserable in their own lives that they
Bless
can't stand someone else's success. You're light, even though you joke and you're serious about always wearing black. You have such a light that shines out, and some people are blinded by it. They can't handle it.
Well, that's true. And what people don't understand, even when I was a little child, and my mother put me in frills and pastels, I hated it. I've always said that I was one of the witches they burned in Salem.
Possibly.
So people that know me know me. People that don't, bless them.
That's all you can do. That is all you can do.
It's their loss, not mine. I don't care. Because I know who I am. The people that love me know who I am. And people either accept me or they don't. It took me so many years to get there in my life.
I know.
Because I wanted to be all things to all people, and then there was nothing left of
Oh,
me.
honey, I know. I know. And you
So,
weren't even a middle child.
no, I was the oldest.
That's so unlike an older child. At least I have an older brother well, I have two older brothers, but my oldest brother and my oldest sister both act. I don't want to say aloof, but in a way they are. My older brother, especially, and God bless me, he's probably listening. Mike, I love you dearly. You know that. Used to worship him. He's 10 years older than I am, and it took me a while to understand you're not supposed to worship your brother. But anyway, um, they have to kind of act superior. Middle children tend to be the people pleasers.
Yep. And then the youngest just gets away with murder. Because by
Oh,
then, mama's too tired to care.
well, in my case, there were 20 years between the first and the second.
So they basically started over.
My younger brother David will only be 60 this year. My
Wow.
oldest brother is 90. I mean 80. But when we were growing up, my my poor mother didn't have the energy to. Here, Mary, you take David. Here, Jane, you take David. So he got passed around.
Yep. So did my youngest brother. Because by then, my mother had had four children before him, and one of them being challenged, and she was
Yeah.
worn out. She was totally worn out. And I was 10 when John was born. I had already raised three other kids. I started raising kids when I was a toddler.
Yeah.
So I bless her. That I just
Well,
put it in the book. I'll just put it in the section.
I wanted to go back to the book. I love that because I was going to tell you they say that when you have haters, you have arrived.
You're doing something right.
You're doing something to trigger other people that don't play well with others, and
Bless.
that's actually a good thing.
What I did not
Nobody hates me.
give them time, they will. What what I did not
I do
expect.
have some people that question me and challenge me because they can't believe that what I write is true.
That's on them.
I mean,
Because their life is so boring, or else they refuse to accept the facts of their life, not their life as they perceive it to be.
well, when I write novels, they're like, "Oh, this is really great." But when I write the truth, they're like, "That didn't happen."
That didn't happen. And
If I
again,
didn't see it when it was going on, it didn't happen.
or they chose to forget it. Memory can be selective,
My
and
husband looks at me sometimes. He'll say, oh, in fact, last night he asked me, I don't remember the question now. It might come to me, it might not. But he said, I need your memory because I'm having trouble. Where were we living when whatever happened? And I'm like, oh, over on Vieira. And he said, well, where were we living when such and such? I said, that would have been, because we traveled. The first
right,
15 years of our togetherness and of our marriage, we moved, we rented, we moved, and we could never find a place that we wanted to settle down. And that was so that we would be available to take care of my mom.
mm-hmm,
But there are so many things, we have pre-mama and post-mama.
right.
And then the short length of time that we were actually with her. So he'll ask me questions. A couple days ago, he wanted to know where something was. And I know wives in general tend to find for their husbands,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a real knack for it. In fact, once I got a certificate at a job that I had that called me the finder of all things or something like that.
We're the fixer and the finder, Mary.
Yep.
But back to the book, real quick. I did not expect this book to get the
Attention.
in this part that it's gotten. I was calling bingo last night, and it was before we started. I was helping get everybody signed in and everything. And as people were coming in the door, they were laughing and talking about how funny the book was,
Aww.
and that they were spending time trying to figure out who was who. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on Off the Chain Live. So that is my other Facebook page. So go over there and get in the chat room, because Mary is handling the chat room, and she'll see what you got to say. But what we want to talk about today is, because children's books now are becoming part of our repertoire, Mary had this wonderful idea of creating a new imprint under the blanket of Midnight Publishing. And she has sent me some beautiful, beautiful mock ups of the imprint we want to use. Now we just got to decide which one of the 20 we,
I'm
we
sorry,
like.
there were 24.
24 that we like the best. Now, there is nothing in our world that says we can't use the different imprints, because they all are for children's books.
I got an idea.
Okay?
You and I picked our top 5.
We did.
And go figure. I mean, I put my top 5 in a folder, and I just didn't tell Yvonne what they were. I sent her the other 24, and I said, send me a list of your top 5. How many of those you want to think matched?
I would say at least 4 out of the 5, if not all 5.
Boom, 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 boom. All 5. I mean, I looked at her list, and I went to my folder, and I'm like, wait. That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. And I was thinking, kind of hoping, that there might only be 1 or 2 that matched. And then I could say, okay, well, these are our contenders.
Right?
But what if we had did a poll? I mean, we could do a contest, and I wouldn't mind sending somebody one of my books as a gift or a prize, whatever. But, we could put up the 5 that we liked and have people choose which one they like best.
That's a good idea.
That kind of makes it everybody's
Yeah.
project.
All right. You named it, you get to raise it.
I knew that was going to happen. I will. I don't have access to Midnight Publishing Group admin, do I?
I think you do. If you don't, you will have as soon as we get off
Because
here.
I'd rather post it there than on my page,
Okay, hold on. I'll
and
find
then
out.
I can share it from there.
All right, folks, I went off the thing for a minute, so just bear with me because I've got to look up something for Mary.
Well, it
Let's.
doesn't have to be done in this exact
Sure, it
moment.
does.
You'll see, that's how we work, folks.
Sure, it does.
We like to respond quickly.
Well, the reason is because if I do it now, then I don't forget it.
Yep. Oh, well, I've got tabs open so that after the show I can remember what I need to do.
All right, what I. Oh, there it is. Now I got to go find you.
So once we get this done, I will tell you here today if Yvonne doesn't object. And by the time it comes out of my mouth, it'll be too late for her to object anyway. You know, the main publishing is Midnight Publishing.
Correct.
We named this imprint. Let me. I don't know if everybody knows what an imprint actually is.
Before we get in there, I just sent you an invite to be an admin.
Okay, I will go check on that after the show.
Okay. All right, explain to the audience what an imprint is.
It's basically a brand because Random House they sell books, but then they have Penguin
Mm-hmm.
Random House, which is mostly their I don't know. They sell
They're
both fiction and
nonfiction.
nonfiction.
Right.
Then you've got Plume is a paperback imprint of Random House, I believe, and they focus on LGBTQ plus titles. Harper Collins, used to think Harper Collins only did school books, but they have Morrow, Avon, which is their romance imprint, and Witness Impulse, which is right where Yvonne's books would fit, suspense and thrillers. But we have Yvonne's books at Midnight Publishing, so we don't need HarperCollins.
Exactly.
But I was trying to just give some ideas, because what happens is you've got big publishing companies. Sometimes they absorb smaller companies, and then they use those smaller names for the imprints. Like, I think that's what happened with the Hatchet Book Group. They bought out
Yep.
Little Brown and Company. And so
And-
they
and
left
what-
it as an imprint.
And what the imprint does is it distinguishes a different group of authors from the main company. Our logo for Midnight Publishing, as most of you know, is dark. It has a skull. We really don't want that logo on our children's books. We want a children's logo. While it is on the first three books went out, we decided that we need that children's logo, because if a child sees that logo or a child's parent sees that logo, they understand that it is from
Kid friendly.
it's kid friendly. Exactly.
And
So
we're calling it Small Hours.
Yep.
And the reasoning behind that, and this was something I wanted really to share with everybody, because when I first started looking at imprints, I'm like, well, what does that even mean? Why would you name it that? What's the, you gotta have a reason for what you do. And first of all, small, of course, is for small children,
Correct.
but small hours means, the wee hours of the morning. And that's typically from midnight to about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But it's an old English synonym of midnight. So that's why we're calling it Small Hours. And we will be putting up the logos and doing a poll, if I can figure out how. I'm sure that I can. I'm pretty smart. I've seen other people do it. And if other people can do it,
you can do it from Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. If you know, that is why I started doing my own taxes many, many, many years ago. My ex-husband hired this guy who it was a he was a school teacher, but he was, as my mother would say, he was educated. He just wasn't very smart.
There you go.
And when my ex said, "Let's let so and so do it," I don't want to give his name out. Um, he does taxes. I thought, you've got to be kidding me. So that was my impetus to start doing my own taxes. If that bozo can do it, anybody can do it. Although I once had a job where a woman who was trying to become a real estate agent, a realtor, um, and she had failed the test like 5 times, which is supposed to be one of the easiest things you can get into is real estate. She looked at me and she said, "Well, you're just a receptionist." I looked back at her. I said, "Honey, there ain't no just on me."
You are the first thing people see when they walk in the door.
Yeah,
You are the face of the company.
get your
And this
dust off me.
is
But I
what
thought it
people
was
don't
funny. It was like,
understand.
the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Who are you who can't even pass a real estate test? And I didn't say anything because I didn't want her to challenge me to take the real estate test. Probably could have aced it without studying. I mean, I've heard so many people tell me how easy it is. If it wasn't easy, there wouldn't be so many freaking realtors around.
Well, and the same can be said in the publishing world. I was on a page yesterday and somebody was saying they were asking about publishing and getting their book out there and yada yada yada. And as a children's book of all things. And somebody said, "Oh, just put it up on Amazon." Okay, we have swung back around to publishing children's books.
Yes, we
I
have.
am going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a walk in the park. Mary will tell you, I spent days putting together 3 books. There is a process that you will not believe. You just don't throw it up there and expect it to be right. It doesn't work that way. Amazon is very, very particular about
Oh,
how those
yes.
books go up. And if they're not right, they're going to keep kicking them back, kicking them back,
It,
kicking them back. That's why Mary had trouble with Linda's because
yep.
Mary was on Linda's page on her um, Amazon account, and Linda was getting all of the emails back saying, "This isn't working, this isn't right, you got to go back and fix it." And there's a trick to it. And the trick is you have to take those illustrations, change them to JPEGs, and then you have to size them to what Amazon tells you to. If not, they'll keep kicking it back till you get it right.
And they don't tell you exactly why they're kicking it back. They'll give you a generic ballpark reason, and they'll send you a link and say, "Here, watch this video for more information." Well, the video basically is just a video telling you you messed up. Here's what you need to do.
But
But
this,
they don't tell you exactly how.
but let me tell you what I did. I pulled up the book and I pulled up the Amazon where I put it up on the Amazon, the upload.
Right.
And I went through page by page. And let's say page 7 was outside of the area or it didn't bleed right. Now, bleeding is where it has to cover the whole thing. So, what I would do is I would take that particular page, I would go back and I would resize it as a JPEG. Then I would take the old illustration off, put the new one on, and then I would upload it again. I did that for 4 days.
Somebody asked me recently, and I think you know this. What can Midnight Publishing do for you that you can't do for yourself?
I just told them. because I have all the programs to change
Yeah.
the images.
Well,
I
it,
have
it's
the patience.
and that was what I was running into with trying to do that for Linda. Number one, the author doesn't need to know every time Amazon kicks it back
Correct.
because it can be very disheartening.
Yes.
All they know is Amazon doesn't like my book. What am I doing wrong? Well, they're not doing it, it's the designer. I
Correct.
was the one who, I don't understand everything Yvonne understands. I don't have all of her programs to do everything she can do. So it was frustrating me and it was disheartening Linda, and she told me probably 6 times, just stop it, don't do it anymore. I'll be okay without it on Amazon. And I wasn't going to let that happen. And after talking to Yvonne and seeing what she was capable of, I said, okay, I'm going to send you everything you need. Make it happen, please. And she did.
We did. Just like, okay,
And
the book that I just put up for you, Faith and Folly, Amazon kicked it back, and it was because they could not read the writing on the back cover. So I had to go in and I had to rebuild the back cover again and then put a white background and then
yeah,
black lettering, and then I had to go in and take the print out of the spine because they didn't like the spine because the book is so small. Even with my book, Murder in the Village, it has no writing on the spine. So I redid it, put it back up. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
yeah,
I don't mind them kicking it back. And the reason I don't mind them kicking things back is because every time they kick something back, I learn.
yes,
And I know better next time. I know how to put up children's books on Kindle. You can't just, oh, and if you, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never put a book up on Kindle, please don't. Please don't. Send it to me. Because with the children's books, you have to take all the JPEGs, load them up one photo at a time to create the
whoa,
story. And children's books don't have chapters. So I'm going to, because we're having issues with getting your children's books uploaded as an audio because of the gigahertz and all the refinement that they expect, I'm going to try to load one of the children's books when you have to wait till the Kindle goes live
right.
to upload the audibles. I'm going to try to load up through AI on Audible and see what happens. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to keep playing with what you sent me until we get it right.
Well, I can also redo anything and slow down if I need to.
Well, it's not that. It's I sent you their criteria,
Right.
and it's difficult, and I have the program to do it, but it just takes working with it.
Yeah.
And the idea that I'm tenacious and stubborn. Not stupid, just stubborn.
And God forgive the person who dares you.
Exactly.
Ah!
It
Ah!
will not end well at all.
Oh, you think I won't eat a hot boiling jalapeno out of this pot?
Watch
Skim it
me.
all.
I got a phone call on yesterday. I got a phone call yesterday. And I thought it had to do with a friend of mine. And this other friend says, no, it has to do with something else. Well, I had made a post on my personal page, which I can do, and
Yeah.
because the condo that I own, a timeshare condo, and I found out something that I didn't like. I pay a lot of money for that timeshare, and I found out they were fixing to do something I didn't like, and you know how I am, and you know my background, so I blasted them on my personal page. Now I run their website and their Facebook page, but they don't pay me for it. So
Uh-huh.
I get the phone call that the general manager's not happy with what I'm doing. I said, well, this is what you tell him. He can take his website. He can take his Facebook page. I will take the Facebook page down because I built it, but he can take his website back. You don't tell me what I can put on my personal page and what I cannot, especially when I don't work for you.
Uh-uh.
So, yeah, she said, I knew you were going to say that. I said, why'd you bother calling me? Why don't you just tell him? You want me to tell him? I'll be happy to. But apparently, nobody tells this person no. Have they met me? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, that all goes back to I don't give up.
No, she doesn't.
And it's very important for my authors to be successful. And in order to be successful, I have to get them out there no matter what it takes. I got an email from your friend, um,
Bonnie.
Bonnie. She wanted to know why I do what I do. And
Because
I
my telling her that wasn't enough.
no, so I explained it all to her. Pure and simple. I do it because other people have helped me. I said I don't charge my authors. And I do it because I can. So she is mailing me her manuscript.
In the post.
I asked her to email it to me
She
because
doesn't have it on email?
I don't know. If you can find out, because if she is emailing me all of that and it's a children's book, I have to scan all those illustrations in,
No, no, she should be the one doing that.
and then I have to go back and write the story in Word.
Let
We are
me
beyond,
reach out.
ladies and gentlemen, and this is another thing, we are beyond snail mail. When you say, I've got a manuscript,
Nobody uses snail mail anymore.
please email it to me. Completed. Not in sections, not in one or two. Send me the completed manuscript in chapters, 12-point font, New Times Roman. Please. Because it makes my life so much easier.
And trust me, we want your life to be easier because you make my life easier as a writer. It is such a, everything that I've done up until I joined Midnight Publishing, I did myself.
Correct.
And when you are laying out a children's book, now I've written, once Faith and Folly comes out, I will have written 4 adult books and 2 children's books. The children's books are immeasurably harder. I'm just going to put it out there.
They are.
Um, there is something so simple about uploading a cover and a bunch of text. And it's so easy. Before you know it, you've got a book, and Amazon is very happy with it because all you've got is the cover for
Right.
artwork. But with children, there's art in every page, and it doesn't matter if it's AI art or hand-drawn art, which I'm working on doing some more hand painting. But anyway, when you're, like I said once before, it took me 4 months from idea to holding my angel book in my hands. It took Yvonne maybe 4 days to take everything that I had and turn it back into the book again. I had all the raw equipment. It's like making a cake. I just gave her more eggs and chocolate and powder. And she made a book out of it. But not just a book. We're working on the paperback, we're working on the Kindle, and the audio. It's all a package. And if I don't have to worry about, ooh, is this bleed right? Or, oh, is this ink contrasting enough? I give all that to Yvonne, and she just gives me the time to decompress from one book and paint a few pictures. Or in my case, yesterday I cleaned house for a change.
I got to do that Saturday.
But when you're writing, you get in the zone and you can't be thinking about all these things. And you don't want to, the marketing is always, always, always in the back of my mind. But now with Yvonne doing the formatting and the uploading with Amazon, she's freed me to do more marketing and to do more writing and thinking. And it's just amazing to have her as a literary partner.
And
I didn't have to query her and have her say, oh, no, come back in 6 months. I'm not reading manuscripts right now.
yeah, no. Send me your book, I'll read it. I am working on Sherry Richardson's new book,
I
the
saw that
director.
she's got her novel out finally.
And she is so excited. And while I'm putting this book together and formatting it and doing what I do, I already see the cover
Nice.
in my head. And ladies and gentlemen, Mary understands it because she's a writer and a photographer and an artist. As with all of those crafts combined, we see things other people don't. I haven't even read her book through its entirety. I've just been separating the chapters, and now I got to go back and do the indents and all that. But the words that I pick up as I scroll through, I see the cover.
That's awesome. Well, let me tell y'all, I sent Yvonne some ideas, just some images and some thoughts about the cover of Faith and Folly. And then, I had two distinct ideas of how I wanted it. But she took one image, which my son thinks is creepy, but it was my favorite of the two.
Mine too.
Because it's colorful.
Well, not only that, but his his facial expression is folly.
Yeah. But it was so funny because she sent me a mock-up of the cover, the front cover. And I'm like, yeah, I love it. Can't wait to see what you do with the back. Go to bed that night, wake up yesterday morning with this thought in my head. She needs to take the folly on the front, turn him around, have him walking away on the back. Which, I did that with my angel journal.
Mm-hmm.
I have an angel on the front walking to you, and then on the back she's walking away. But I thought, that would work with this too. And but I was late joining the computer world yesterday, but the first thing I saw was an image that I had imagined that morning. It was as if Yvonne took what was in my head and put it on the back of this book.
And we hadn't even talked to each other.
No. No. And that's why I'm here at Midnight Publishing, because I know Yvonne will never steer me wrong.
Mm-mm.
I know Yvonne works with the same God I work with. I know that she has, I don't think we've ever determined. I'm going to just round it up to 20 years. And 20 years from now, we'll still say we met each other 20 years ago. But it's been a minute. And ever since I met Yvonne, she has steered me towards success after success after success. And
you know why, Mary? Because you have an open heart, for one thing. For another thing, I will never try to talk someone into my way of thinking.
nope,
That's wrong.